but it really does. I mean, to double or triple your power.
Well, what we notice is when you invest in something like this, it's like, if I'm gonna do it, I want to do it the right way. And I want to make sure that, look, I've kind of covered all my bases. So, you know, when you get this at home, it's going to be able to run 30 hours on your refrigerator, if that's, you know, what your priority is. But it's nice to also know all I got to do is daisy chain one extra battery to this unit, and now I've got 60 hours. And that's doubling everything that you plug in, right? So an hour for your microwave, about 2 hours for your microwave. You're never running your microwave for 2 hours.
No.
Okay?
No.
But it's nice to know that you could.
A refrigerator, you are running constantly.
Constantly.
So you want as many hours as you can get out of that, because they're, oh, I'll never forget, it was I don't know if it was years ago. We evacuated to Orlando.
Yeah.
And then it came and hit us in Orlando. We got stuck at our friend's house. A tree came behind our car. We were stuck in their house. And the fridge started really smelling within 24 hours. Everyone's like, don't open the fridge! Because it's, you know, you start losing the food so quickly, and oh, that's a whole nother thing, you know, to talk about. Not only the money and the waste, but the smell and the cleanup and all of that. So back to the extra battery. It's nice to have extra hours.
It is, because again, you just never know what's gonna happen. We love having the renewable source of power with the solar panel. One of the things I do wanna mention though is we typically not only do we not have them as a bundle,
in stock,
but typically it's a 110 watt solar panel.
Good point.
And we upgraded to the 160 watt solar panel. So a full upgrade. This is really, like you were saying, the most powerful bundle that we've done.
Yeah.
So an upgraded solar panel. Here's the cool thing about that solar panel. What you're gonna see in a little bit is that this refrigerator is gonna run at about 30 watts, right? And actually, let me show you with the light and the fan before I even do that.
Okay.
We'll show you right here exactly how long it's gonna run a light and a fan for, and it's gonna show you that wattage. So it's saying 35, that's not minutes, by the way, that's 35 hours, and then it's gonna show you the amount of wattage. Think about this. With that wattage right there, with the 160 watt solar panel, you can have this during the day, the sun powering my light and my fan, not depleting the power, because now it's passed through. The sun is passing through its energy from my solar panel and then passing through my power station all the way to all my devices that are plugged in. So when the lightning hits, and the thunder strikes on you.
You're so powerful.
I know. I've got I'm my own rainmaker. I'm gonna walk over here. So Kelly, I went grocery shopping, and it's like, I always laugh because I always try to get the smaller cart, because I'm like, if I get the bigger one, I end up filling the cart up.
Me too.
So I wanted to make sure that I didn't open this and it was some empty refrigerator. I wanted this to be realistic. We've got all this food. I don't know if you guys can see, because obviously the lights are out right now. I'm just gonna go walk over here right behind you, Kelly, and then grab this little cable, plug it in here into the bag, and then in just a few seconds, our light and our fan, and then our full-size refrigerator and our freezer with what? How much money do you have in there?
Oh my gosh. Hundreds of dollars for most of us.
How much food did your son eat?
Right, exactly.
Okay. You needed probably $200 worth of food just for him.
Well, something about being in a stressful situation makes you want to even eat more.
Well, you're not going out to eat. You're stuck at home doing pretty much nothing except for watching TV, watching what's happening with the storm, and eating. Or maybe binge eating on some ice cream, which we've got some ice cream. So your full freezer, your full refrigerator, your eggs so that you can cook breakfast in the morning. We've got frozen chicken nuggets. We've got all these frozen dinners in here as well. Our ice maker, all of our milk and all of our other fruits and vegetables in here. And the reason why I show you this is because not only are we going to be able to keep all of this cool, then the cool part is then you can walk right over here to your microwave and plug your microwave in, and then cook all of that food that's in your microwave. Now, that's why when we say this is gonna power 99% of your home appliances, that's why it's a big deal. Because before, it wasn't like you could do what we're about to do right here, which is actually power all of these different devices. Just set it to 30 seconds.
Right now, it's just the fridge, it's the microwave, it's the fan, it's the lamp. That's only 4.
That's only 4 different things.
Yeah.
And of course, you're gonna see on the front, it's gonna say roughly about an hour. That's because you see the number to the right of it? It's about 1,800 watts of power that's pulling right now. You can have up to 3,600 watts.
Awesome.
So, like we said, and we were joking, you know, yeah, you're never gonna run a microwave for an hour, but how many times are you gonna heat up some food? Whether it's your air fryer, whether it's popcorn, whether it's for the entertainment, it's nice to know we can do that. And then, of course, like we said, to double that. And then, of course, that number on the display is gonna jump back up. So with our light and our fan, that's 24 hours. It's a full day that we can have with that power.
Because what you're gonna wanna do is, right away, is eat up as much food as you can. Because, you know, if you don't, before you know it, it's gonna spoil. Although, this guy is gonna power up that beast for hours.
24 hours is what's showing you with the light and the fan plugged in right now.
There was a time, initially when we launched EcoFlow, a fridge was not on the list.
No.
And this is not only just a fridge, it's a big fridge for 24 hours.
Well, when we did actually, when we were able to plug in the fridge, it was for like 3 to 5 hours.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, and when we say that, you know, that's not that long ago, and that was still revolutionary when we were able to do a lot of that.
5 years ago.
To even be able to do these microwaves was revolutionary.
It was.
And that was with our smaller deltas, but the smaller deltas kind of max out at only doing about 90% of your home appliances. It's going to do 99%.
99%.
And of course, we like to start in the kitchen as the big demonstrable wow stuff, because this is the things that we're all affected with. When you think about your necessities of water, food, the next third thing is power. And ultimately, you know, you can argue that you can flip-flop all of those different things around because you need power to sustain your food and your water. But we obviously need food and water, and we need power. And a lot of you, if you rely on a medical device, well, yeah, maybe you do bump that power up to number one, because if you're reliant on that dialysis, you're relying on the oxygen machine. And the nice part is that when you were saying this, you know, you can gift it to anybody. If you know somebody who lives in an apartment or condo who physically is unable to even use a gas generator in a conventional home, this is finally an alternative for all of them to have something that they can depend on.
And look, it only takes up this much space. You could put this in a closet. I mean, it's crazy how small and compact it is. It does weigh almost 50 pounds, so it's heavy, but it is incredibly powerful. A couple things I need to let you know, because I mean, there's a couple airings scheduled. I know you've got one next hour, but I don't want you to wait for even another presentation, because we will not have this for the rest of the day. I guarantee you that. We have, I think, close to 1,700 are gone. We have less than 900 to go around. And I know a lot of you at midnight or during the night, you were thinking, I want to think about it. I know I should do it. When should I do it? Or talk to a family member. You do want to do it. You will feel, I think you'll sleep better at night just knowing it's in the garage. Even if the power, you lose it for 6 hours. You never know if it's going to be 6 hours or 6 days. In some cases, it happens. We hear about it all across the country. I mean, current situation at hand, obviously we know the reality is it's terrifying. We've been through it many times here. But in the middle of the country, there's tornadoes, there's windstorms, there's ice, you know, things that cling to the ice that clings to the power lines. And before you know it, you're like, gosh darn it, I should have done it. And you should do it while it's $800 less. Because if you're going to do it later, it's even more painful to spend that much more money to get the same kind of backup. I didn't mention the VIP financing, but I do want you to know, if you have that HSN card, you know you can pay this a little bit at a time. That's 1 month at a time. You're paying $66 today. $66, $61 to this month and next month and the next month. We don't charge interest on those individual payments. We hold your balance. And if you pay that off in full by 18 months down the road, not one penny has been spent towards interest. You will have this now. This is when you need it. Yes, we're in the middle of hurricane season, but it's certainly not exclusive to hurricanes. It's every storm, every kind of thing that comes along the way. Sometimes it's just like, oh my gosh, the city teams are out checking out the, you know, the internet or whatever, and then boop, they hit a wire, and there you go. Here we are without power.
Well, how about in California when they were like, hey, we're gonna have planned blackouts. And the scary thing is it's these planned blackouts at the worst time. And it's because the grids are getting overloaded with everybody running their AC units. This July was the hottest July on record. Okay, however you want to cut it, you know, slice it, it's hot, right? And it's hot here, it's hot across the country. So in California, if they shut off your power right now, and it's super hot, obviously we see what's happening in California right now, even with the hurricanes, well, what are you going to do? And if you live in an apartment or condo, like you said, now you're just at the mercy of who? Who's out there who's going to help me? And this is a great way to just be there to help yourself and be independent. You know, I always think about it too when, you know, when the hurricane comes, as it's always, you know, help thy neighbor. Ultimately, it's fend for yourself in an unfortunate way, because when you go to these grocery stores, when you go to these gas stations, everybody is scared and trying to protect themselves and their family. You wanted to make sure that you can depend on you, that you can be ready and independent of being out of power, having your water, having your food. So this absolutely is an essential thing. And I think it's just essential to know that it's a peace of mind to have something like this. Ultimately, you know you can use it. And talking about using it, knowing that it's not a reactionary type of purchase where you think, okay, we're going to get a generator, we've got a storm coming, and then that generator you use one time, and then it sits there. And that investment that you made never leaves that garage until the next time you need it. When you invest in this, it's there for your emergencies.
Yep.
It's there for your fun and entertainment. You take it on the boat. Take it tailgating. Football is right around the corner.
We take ours camping. We literally do. I call myself a primitive camper, but I still like my blender campsite.
I'd love to see your version of primitive camping.
I do sleep in a tent, so I rough it from that perspective.
Okay.
But now that I've got my EcoFlow, and I mean, I didn't always pamper myself this way when I'm camping, but I do now. Why not? Because you can.
Well, you can have a fan inside your tent. How about this? How about a small portable AC unit inside your tent?
Idea.
So not just blowing hot air around in your in the tent, but actually having. Here, if you want to sit here, I'm just going to sit right here on the couch.
Great, thanks.
You know, actually having cool air being pumped into you. You know, one of the things that we just launched recently, we launched a bunch of new products, and I mention this just because when we establish who EcoFlow is, we're the #1 in this category of portable power stations. It's why, you know, when we launched here 5 years ago, this was a brand new category. It was exciting. Batteries were changing, and now, you know, this is really just an evolutionary line of that. But now we're doing portable AC units and heaters. We've got battery-operated refrigerators, freezers, and ice cube makers. We've got this autonomous lawnmower that we're doing. We're expanding into so many different areas, and a lot of that can be used in conjunction with your power station. So it's a whole kind of ecosystem that we've created.
This is such a great
example.
example.
But right here is a perfect example.
It used to be that, like, oh, you can power up your fans to, like, blow some air around, but this is an actual AC unit that you can plug into this Delta because it is that powerful.
So just one touch of a button. Again, we have that display right here to show you. I'm just going to hit power on this, and this is set to 72 degrees. It's not like it's set to 80 degrees. And it's going to roughly be about 12 to 13 hours that we're going to be able to run this. But think about, you were talking about, can you imagine being out of power for 5 hours in the middle of summer, or 6 hours in the middle of summer during the day, and now all of a sudden it, you know, went from 70 degrees in your house to now it's 100 degrees in your house.
Happens
How quickly that can happen. One of the deadliest weather events is, in fact, heat. You don't think about it. You think it's storms. You think it's this. You think it's that. It's heat that can be so scary.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you can keep yourself cool, but like you said, not just with a fan. This isn't about just doing a phone and a fan. This is about having a portable AC unit. This could be your window AC unit. Plug your window AC unit into your power station. Those too. And then, you know, I like to keep mentioning it throughout the presentation is, yes, this is going to say 12 hours, but don't forget that if you want 24 hours, all you need to do is pick up that extra battery and with one cable, plug it into this, and now you've got 24 hours of keeping yourself cool during the summertime.
So here's a couple of things I want to share with you because we're halfway through this presentation. I'm really glad I'm here early today because it will not be here tonight. It unfortunately won't. I wish we had enough for everybody in the demand that is obviously here today. With close to 2,000 gone and now less than 900, a little more than 800 available. With this bundle, because this is the biggest bundle. And I've said that before, but it was not even close to this bundle. Not only is this the Delta Max 2000, it comes with not just a solar panel. Typically, you'd have to buy the solar panel separately, and they were 120 watts.
And they were 110 watts, but you're right. But you're right, yes, completely separate.
This is a 160 watt solar panel that is included, and that's a $350 extra. So in the past, you would spend more for just the Delta Max 2000 that you're seeing right there, front and center. It's in fact $1,599, so you're saving $400 on just that unit. You're not paying for the $350 solar panel that is more powerful than any I've seen before here or anywhere. And then we throw in that extra Powerstrip just as because we want you to even have more options and feel even better about this purchase. Like I said, you're saving $800 today. I'm not surprised that this is as popular as it is today, not just because of what's going on in the news, because I think we all know in the back of our minds, we should have this.
Yeah.
It does make sense. It just is one of those things. It's not just like one day I should do that. Don't keep putting it off. If you have, you've been lucky if you've been missing or dodging the emergencies that have been going on in the world. But the day will come where you're going to be like, gosh, darn it, I need it. And in between needing it, have fun with it. Use it for the campgrounds, or use it for the tailgating parties, or use it to, bring your backyard, football party to the backyard and have power to make those margaritas.
Exactly, which will make you feel even more empowered. Those margaritas are special. Two things. If you're thinking about waiting till the next TS, you'll have to wait till next year.
Next year.
Because this is the last TS that we're gonna have this year. And we do it typically at this time because this is one of the most popular times to be picking it up because the demand is high. Why? Because this is the time of power outages, of getting prepared. This is that hurricane preparedness season for us on this side of the coast, but it doesn't matter where you are in the country. This is just that time to be prepared for any type of weather events. We're not too long until we're gonna be in fall and then back into winter. So yes, we showed you the AC unit. You might be up north thinking, well, I'm not really concerned with keeping myself cool. I'm concerned with keeping myself warm. I wanna show you this really quickly. I've got the heating blanket plugged in, or at least I thought I did here. We've got the heating blanket plugged in. We're gonna turn that on, and that's gonna start to kind of level itself out, but maybe you've got roughly about 13 to 14 hours that you're gonna have with that heating blanket. And it's gonna jump up because you'll be able to see that wattage kind of start. It fluctuates, it'll kind of power on, and then it'll start to power off. And that's just from the heating blanket itself. But if you're worried about staying warm, look, this is a great way to make sure that you have a plan to keep yourself warm, to keep your family warm, wrap yourself up in a heating blanket. Why am I not showing a space heater that runs at roughly about 1,000 watts? It's very power hungry. And that doesn't matter if it's a gas generator, or if a propane generator, power station, doesn't matter. It's going to eat the battery or your gas up very quickly. This is a great, efficient way to do it. So keep yourself cool, keep yourself warm. But if it's not just that, maybe it is the dialysis machine. I'm just gonna go ahead and plug that in really quickly here, and we'll get this going. Because look, you know, if this is the difference between going camping and not going camping, I can't tell you how many, in fact, it's the women who typically come up to me and they're like, you know, my husband has a CPAP machine and we never go camping because
he can't be
without a CPAP machine.
Yeah.
And so before, when we had these, and here's the CPAP machine right back here, you know, one of the things I always like to mention too really quickly is it's like a $700 CPAP machine. It's not like these things are cheap.
No.
And you have it because you need it, because you want to have an actual good night's sleep, because you be able to breathe throughout the night. I've got asthma. I know a feeling of not being able to breathe. But if this is the difference between enjoying life and not, and I don't like to go to that extreme, but it typically can come to that where it's like, I don't go camping because I can't use my CPAP machine. Well, why? Before, we could do this for about 5 hours on a CPAP machine. Now, we can do this for roughly about 20 hours, and that's gonna even jump up even more as that CPAP machine levels out. But even if it was just 22, 26 hours, it's jumping back up. If it was just 20 hours, if it was just 20 hours for a CPAP machine.
You don't need to use them, like, well, I guess all night, right?
You don't need to use it all, right? I mean, it would be 8 hours, right? So you've got 2 full nights sleep right there. And that's without recharging it with the sun.
Right.
So when you're off the grid, now you're using your solar panel to recharge it. You don't need to feel like, well, how are we gonna recharge this when we're out of power, wherever you are? You have the ability now with that solar panel to have that renewable energy. And the nice thing too is, don't forget, you can use that as a pass-through charging. So during the day, all of these different things that we're showing you, you can have the solar panel out, not just recharging the power station, but then the sun, literally as a solar generator, powering up everything else that you've got plugged in, not depleting the power from your battery. So there's so many different ways to use it.
We'll show you how that all connects, because you're getting all the cables to do that. You are getting, of course, you know, you're getting your battery with your purchase. If you want that extra battery, I know we've got less than 500 available. They are on sale, $300 off today. Okay, if you want our today's special, we're gonna take a little break. I wanna remind you of a couple things. There's 800 left. That's insane. 800 left. You might make another airing or two.
I think we'll have 1 left.
I think so. It's been going that fast, and I'm really glad. I mean, I'm not a pushy person. I think you know that. I've been here 24 years. This is just one of the most incredibly important things to have for you, for your family, and if you are kind enough to share it with your friends and your neighbors, you know what? When that emergency does hit you and your area, you're ready, and that just, to me, feels so good, and I really want that for you. It is the best name in the industry. I did that comparison, that shopping, that research 5 years ago when we launched EcoFlow, and I'm just thrilled to see that it's been such a big success here at HSN. You'll spend a lot more any other day than today to get it. So this is the one that you want. This is the day to do it. This is the show to do it, because it will sell out early. 847-902 is the item number. We do want to let you know about a couple things going on hsn.com, one of which is the last day of a big Curtis Stone end of the summer sale is happening right now, and he does have an electric drink maker. It's a frozen drink maker right there.
We need to see the details on this.
You could plug that right into your EcoFlow and be, I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, sometimes it's just nice to take a little edge off.
Well, you're going tailgating.
And then that too.
Bring that drink machine with you.
It's one of the many things you'll see on the Curtis Stone page, so check that out. But we are gonna go through and show you how to plug everything in with this huge bundle. The solar panel included on our Today Special, so keep it here.
Be the first to shop fresh for fall finds, all on sale all week long. It's Fall First Dibs Week. We're bringing the brand new with a special event every day. Monday, show your team spirit with officially licensed everything, plus all you need to make big game day amazing. Tuesday, get crafty with all new finds from organization and tools to Halloween and holiday theme bundles and more. Wednesday and Thursday, fill your fall closet with 48 hours of the season's hottest head-to-toe style finds and beauty essentials. Friday, spice up your home with 24 hours of the latest cozy and designer decor, kitchen must-haves, and food faves. Fall First Dibs Week truly has it all for fall. Starts tonight at midnight. Get the best deals on the things you love with the HSN card. As an HSN card VIP, you'll get all kinds of perks like VIP financing on so many items, plus extra flex on every item under $369 all day, every day, and at least 8 VIP savings events a year. Includes fraud protection and there's no annual fee. Apply now and instantly get $10 off when you're approved. Call 1-800-695-1418 or visit hsn.com/HSN card.
All right, as promised, welcome back. So glad you're with us this Sunday afternoon. This is such an important moment. I don't want you to wait. It will make me one more airing. I'll get that out yet.
One more.
So I promised we'd show you how to connect everything. I wanted to remind you, you're getting a 160-watt solar panel. This is the case it comes in. This is how you store it. It's tiny, it's compact, it's light. This is $350 extra any other day, but today it's included. This is your EcoFlow. This is the Delta Max 2000. It's the biggest beast of a power source that you can possibly think of. And this is something else we're just giving you today. This is an extra Powerstrip. This is another $40 extra that we're giving you today. And it does have the 4 USB ports, and it's got 8 extra power outlets.
And it's a surge protector.
And it's a surge protector. Thank you. Love that this is included. But let's show the extra cables that you're getting so you can power it up and even on the go.
So obviously you've got your AC adapter, AC cable, and that's just going to plug into your, your regular AC wall outlet. And fastest recharge rate when you do that. So keep that in mind. 0 to 80% in 65 minutes. 65 minutes. So less than 2 hours all the way to 100%.
That's
you can
1
power
hour.
your refrigerator for 30 hours. And it takes less than 2 hours to recharge this.
So make sure it's always charged and sitting in your garage. It'll be ready to go.
Yeah, and then check it every like 9 months. Make sure that, and it's gonna slowly deplete. And I mean, like maybe it'll be at 97% when you go to use it if it's been sitting for a year.
Fair enough.
DC, because if you're driving and you're going somewhere and maybe it's at 80%, you got a 2-hour ride, plug it in while you're driving and then you can be recharging. If you're stationary, you can be sitting there running your car, of course, in the driveway to recharge it that way as well. But it's nice to know you've got options. I love the fact that we have options.
Me too.
And then, of course, third way is going to be your solar panel. So this is going to be the long solar panel cables. This is your MC4 cables. I'll actually turn this around so you guys can see exactly where you'll be plugging it in. And this is for your wall adapter and for the solar panel. The nice part is when we look at those cables, it's not like a big heavy adapter that's on there, like a big block that typically is, because the inverter is built into this unit itself, so it's just a cable. So here's where the solar panel goes in, just simply one little cable you plug in right there. And then this one right here is where you plug it into the wall. That's it. Here's the other cool thing. You can do dual input charging simultaneously. So if we said it takes roughly about like 65 minutes to be from 0 to 80%, it'll be roughly about less than an hour if you have dual input with the solar panel and with your AC. So you can do dual input. And since we're showing you this as well, you still have 6 individual AC outlets on the back right there. I love to show that. And we do have the DC. I don't know if we can get a little bit lower. You do have a little DC cable right here on the bottom, which is, here, well, I'll just lift it up for you guys, make it a little easier. That DC adapter is for any of you who have any of those DC appliances. In fact, you know, one of the things I learned a few years ago is DC is more efficient than AC. So if you have any DC type appliances, it'll run longer through DC than it will through AC.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good
so
to
there
know.
You go. There's a little
tidbit.
tip for you.
Yeah, all the things we learn during these shows. So it is really important that you understand, and I'm not pushing you, I'm just letting you know that if you wait, you do run a risk that this is not going to be an option anymore, and you'll have to spend over $800 more, because at this point we're at almost 2,000 gone. I think we brought in 2,600. And
frantically, I will say this. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for saying this. Frantically trying to get more to get in here, which unfortunately our team in California is being affected with a hurricane. So the communication right now is no.
Is minimal.
So
I don't see that happening. And I do just say that because we're going to officially show you how many we do have in our system right now. And that does not include those of you on the phones. 765 left. There are over 150 people ordering. So that's where we're at with this Today Special. And again, it's something that I know I feel so good about because I know I've got mine in the garage. And I use mine for both fun and for emergencies. And I hope you never have to use it for an emergency. But the chances are pretty high that you will.
Well, look, when you invest in this, you know that no matter what, if there's an emergency, I'm covered. And it's not like when you invest in some of our other smaller power stations, where you think, well, yeah, you know, for emergency, it'll last me for about 5 hours. It'll do 90% of my home appliances. It's going to do 99% of your home appliances, and for days on end. 30 hours for your refrigerator. And that's not including the renewable aspect of having the solar panel. And by the way, when we mention the solar panels, and I know we've mentioned it before, used to be 110 watt, we've upgraded it to the 160 watt for the Today Special. But the other thing too is you can have 800 total watts of solar input to your power station. So you can even get more solar panels if you want to. I know we do have the 2-pack of that 160 watts. So you can pick up and have 3 of those 160 watt solar panels connected to your power station to be able to recharge it that way as well. So the renewable aspect, and what you don't realize is if you've never been through the experience that maybe you and I have been through.
Yes, multiple times.
It's scary. You don't know, who's gonna have gas. They've got websites that will actually put gas stations up to show you who's got gas. Then you get to those gas stations.
And there's a line a mile long.
It
happened to us.
5-mile long line was the last time I went over there.
Wow.
People were just turning around, just gave up.
It happened to us coming back. Allison, Tracy, and I evacuated. I can't remember which hurricane now. You lose track when it happens to us so often. But coming home was the most terrifying thing because that one gas station had gas. If we find one, that's what happened. You're like on the highway and you're like watching your gas gauge go down. And then you get home and you're like, I mean, if you finally make it home with a tank with any gas at all, there you are without power. And it's like, oh my gosh. I mean, it is very stressful. It's very stressful. I don't want you, I hope you can avoid any of the storms. We talk a lot about hurricanes because that's where we live. Obviously, that's what's happening right now. That's what happened out in Hawaii, in Maui, and the wildfires. And oh my gosh, my friend Paul has a condo out there.
EcoFlow team is partnered with an independent team down on the grounds in Hawaii and have been sending over power stations for communication. Just to be able to have communication lines open to start getting even more aid over there.
I'm gonna cry right now. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's just one of those things that it's the worst thing to live through. And if you are in the storm's path, we send you thoughts and blessings and your family as well, because it's just a horrible thing to go through. And I know we talk about those types of storms. My brother lives in Minneapolis, and the winters are brutal, and gosh, power outages happen, tornadoes in the middle of the country, and these days, I mean, it's every year it gets worse. We know why, but it's even more important now than ever to just make sure you've got a backup plan. It's like having insurance on your car or your home. It's like having a life insurance policy for your family members that you love. This is something that you do just feel good knowing it's right there in the garage. It's got a lot of power. It's not some little rinky-dink little power source. Oftentimes, I think we used to think that the only ones that had enough power were the big gas-generated or powered ones. No, EcoFlow has done the most amazing job to get to that #1 spot in the country and stay there.
And stay there and be the innovator in this sector. You know, we're constantly pushing it beyond and beyond and beyond, having newer battery systems, giving you more power in a smaller form factor, increasing the wattage. You know, we're the fastest recharge rate in the industry. That's a big deal. We offer higher wattage output than the majority of the competitors. All these different things, when you shop around, I don't want #3. I don't want #2. I want #1.
Yeah.
And we are #1. And you know, we were talking about Minnesota. When I moved up there, being born and raised in South Florida, I had no idea what I was getting into. It was the first time that I was really scared of weather.
Really?
Because it was 30 below.
Yep.
And my car wouldn't start because it was so cold. And I had, thankfully, I wasn't far from the hotel that I was staying in at the time. I was staying in like an extended stay hotel. By the time I got back to the hotel, I couldn't feel my hands. And I was thinking, wow, I've never really thought at this point, like, this could be extremely scary.
Absolutely. I grew up in North Dakota. My grandparents lived on a farm in the middle of nowhere, Fordville, North Dakota, if you're from that area. I mean, it's so remote, and I used to worry about them so much, because what if they had a gas, furnace?
Yeah.
What if they run out? And what are they gonna do out there? They're stuck, stranded, and that's why I guess I get so passionate about this product, just from so much personal experience. I really am excited if you were able to already get yours, and I know you're just gonna feel better having it. I do wanna let you know 2 things before we kind of give you a visual of all the different appliances that you can plug in here and stay powered up because of the power of this particular model. VIP financing is the first thing I wanted to go through, because if you have that HSN card, boy, is today the day that it pays off. You don't have to pay for the whole thing at all. You can pay this off over the course of the next 1.5 years. So, in fact, that would be next Christmas. You've got 1.5 years to be able to just put $66 a month towards this. But we don't wait to get you the product. You get it right away. The minute you place your order, you're on the list, and yours will be right there within the week or so. If you don't have the HSN card, maybe you want to apply for it today for that reason, because it's one example of how we can help finance bigger ticket items, and this is one of those days. So you're going to apply for that card. You can also then, we'll give you a couple bucks towards your first purchase. I think it's $10 today. But in either case, then you'll be a VIP shopper. If you want to use a different card, if you have a preference, it's $240 to get yours now, and then you pay that every month for 5 months. There's no charge to ship, which is amazing, considering this is probably about a 60-pound
50
bundle.
pounds, right.
50 pounds
well,
for this.
Well, you're right, with the solar panel, correct.
And the solar panel is included. That's not something we have done very often. Every time we do it, I'm like, oh, I want to do the solar panel with it. Well, today we are, and that's not just an ordinary 110-watt solar panel. 160-watt, $350 solar panel is included. But all of it being said and done is $800 off today. And that's even without equating that you're not paying for shipping. So it's really an extraordinary day. And yes, we have passed over 2,000 spoken for. We are down into between 600 and 700 at best left. I don't even know how many people are ordering right now. But let's go through some of the specifics as to how many different appliances, how much you can enjoy in terms of the power itself.
Yeah, and keep in mind, when we're going through all of this, yes, we're doing it inside, but you can do it outside.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're doing it inside, as a alternative to a gas and propane generator. First thing when you get a gas generator is you got to get it running. One of the things that we see is, one, you got to keep it 20 feet away from your home. It puts off toxic fumes, can be very dangerous. Not only that, it's physically laboring. There's stories of people literally hurting themselves trying to do the pull crank. All you have to do is press one touch of a button with this one. Actually, here, I'll turn this around to the front so you guys can see this. Right here, one touch of a button. That's it. I mean, it's almost like it's too easy. It's too easy to be true, too good to be true. And then here's your LCD display, gives you every bit of information. That's something you're never going to see in a gas generator. It's something that's going to have that LCD display, plus all of those USB ports right here on the front as well. 99 representing not 99 minutes, 99 hours, and that's going to fluctuate and change as we start plugging more things in. So this is actually going to calculate the time we have when we plug any of those different devices in, whether it's our lights or fans, anything that you plug in, even your phones down here with these USB ports. So we've got 2 USB-A's, we've got 2 fast charging USB-A's, we have 100-watt USB-C ports for any of you who have any of those devices like MacBooks or iPhones or Samsung or LG phones, whatever they might be that use the USB-C. The 100-watt AC means it's going to be even faster to recharge all of that. I'm going to spin it around so you can see, talking about AC, 6 individual 3-prong AC outlets. Now, I'm going to say this too because maybe you've never even shopped around for a gas generator. I can tell you, typically you get 2 to 3, maybe 3 max AC outlets. You've got 6 right here, up to 1,800 watts of power you can power through just these AC outlets. And then we have the DC adapter right here on the bottom. Yeah, if you want to show that little power strip as well.
Because we are including this for the first time, it's an extra 8 outlets and 4 more USB ports, and all you do is plug this into one of those.
Yeah, and the nice thing too is it just makes it a little bit more convenient. You know, we're talking about the weight of the unit itself. Maybe you're thinking, well, 50 pounds is too much for me to carry from room to room and move it around. That's okay, because once you get this at home, put it in a central location and then don't move it.
Good
then
idea.
get an extension cord to plug all of your other devices in.
That's a good idea.
And then if you do need to move it, then of course maybe you have somebody come and help you to move it. If you're going to go put it in a truck, go tailgating, whatever it might.
So 2 people,
Two people can absolutely, or just one person can absolutely move this.
I mean, it looks like a big car battery, right? But it really is, as you can see, very multifunctional.
Yeah.
So at least 13 different appliances, unless you're using this, then it could be up to 18. Of course, the more you put in, the more power it's going to use, obviously.
Yeah.
But let's show you.
Yeah,
because
let's do it.
99% of the appliances that you use in your home can be used with this to give it power.
Yeah. Well, so the first thing I always think is my refrigerator. You know, before the hurricane, what we did was what everybody did was go to the grocery store.
Stock up.
Let's get a stock up all my refrigerator, and then of course what happens is with this and we had to evacuate $400 worth of food because we didn't know how long are we going to be out of power.
Right.
Days. We figured days we're going to be out of power. I've got 200. This is just $200 worth of groceries.
That's $200. But I wanted.
This is it.
I wanted every apple, every sip of juice. I want every bite of that ice cream.
For $200, I'm not throwing. I'm not even throw the tomato vine away. We're gonna figure out how to cook that tomato vine. But it's true. I mean, it's amazing how expensive even groceries are.
It's insane.
Not just groceries and food. Obviously, this is sustainability. This is about having the peace of mind. Oh, we've got food, we've got water. But if we lose power, then all that food and water we just invested in, what's going to happen to it? So I'm going to walk back over here. I want to plug in the refrigerator because I want you to see this. This is how easy and simple it is. I'm just going to plug it right here into the back, and now in just a few seconds, that refrigerator is going to automatically turn on. So now we've got power to our food, to our freezer, and think about this too. You know, my sister's type 1 diabetic. She needs her insulin to stay cool.
Gosh.
If we're out of power for a week, which we've been out of power for 2 weeks before, how are we going to keep that medicine cool? If it's just having a secondary little mini refrigerator, well, you know what? You think about it, you need it. Here's the cool thing about this. Again, we were showing you that display. Now it's going to show me exactly how long I'm going to be able to run that refrigerator for. Sure, I can go ahead and say, hey, it's going to run it for, you know, we're going to put up a graphic and it's going to show it's going to run it for 2 days. Right here, it's showing me about 47 to 48 hours. It's not pulling any wattage right now because the compressor's not on. So you might even get more than that 30 hours that we're showing you in the graphic right here, but this is just an example that it's gonna tell you in real time how long it's gonna run something for. So I don't like to just say it's gonna do it. We like to just show you how long it's gonna do it for. Whether it's a washing machine, you know, we would fill up buckets of water for the bathroom, but also for our clothes. To be able to wash our clothes when we had it's amazing what you try and figure out with being out of power for 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
You're getting your car to charge your phone. You're using your car to get AC to cool off and then turning it off because you don't know if we're gonna have to move and drive somewhere. All these different things now you can run inside of your home. And what type of home do you live in? What style home? Doesn't matter anymore. Before it was, well, the only way for you to have independent power is you have to have a conventional home and then you can pick up a gas generator.
Which is so frustrating if you live in a place that doesn't allow that, like a condo or you know, an apartment, or like my friends Phil and Sandy, they're full-time RVers at this point in their senior years. They travel around the country. I mean, you're in an RV park and everybody loses power. Guess what? You could have this.
You know what else, though?
Tuck it underneath.
It's completely silent.
Yes, that's so true.
It's one of the things that I forget to even mention is...
You are so right. This is on right now.
Right.
I hear nothing.
You hear nothing.
That's so important. So true.
I forget to mention it because it's like, since you don't hear it, you kind of forget about it. You can run it inside your home, not only no fumes, but no noise.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're going camping, if you're going RVing, at some of these campgrounds, you have quiet time at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So you can't even run the gas
That's
generator.
so true.
HOAs, same thing, at 10 o'clock, you can't run a gas generator.
I don't live in an HOA. Is that how it works?
That's why you don't live in an HOA.
No, but wherever you live,